Well, good morning, boys, girls, moms, dads. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all doing okay. I have really missed teaching art to you guys, and so I thought, well, what better way to get you all creative than to go and find some things that you have in your home anyway and join me. And I'm sure all of you have all these things. So I did send out a list yesterday, but I will tell you again what they all are, and it'll be like a little scavenger hunt going to see if you can find everything. So this is pre-recorded so that you can pause it at any time and go and fetch the things that you need, or if you need a little bit longer than what I'm taking, you just hit the pause button and do what you need to do and come back later. Like, what if the dog needs a walk, or you need a little bit of water, or anything like that? Just pause it and you can use this forever. Okay, so let's get started so you know all the things that you're gonna need. Okay, so you're going to need a t-shirt, and it can be any t-shirt. I've tried this in a number of colors. It works in other colors too, but white definitely does give your colors a little bit more pop. So you can use a t-shirt. It can be an old one, doesn't need to be a new one. And another thing you can do, if this is a t-shirt that has really bad stains or holes in it, that's okay too, because then all you're gonna do is just cut out the square of art that you've made, and you can hang it on a wall. So that would be really fun to do as well. The other things you need are crayons, and who doesn't have a whole bunch of unused broken crayons? So this is where these guys can shine, because broken crayons color just as beautifully as the ones that are new out the box. You need some crayons, then you're going to need a sharpener. Any sharpener will do. You are going to need a pencil, any pencil, but make sure it's sharp. You need some scissors. These don't need to be too sharp. You need paper. Now, I've done this with just scrap paper, so you can reuse the paper that you're going to toss anyway. So if you've got a piece of paper that's printed on one side and that you're not going to be using it anymore, perfect. Use that too. All right. So I've got some paper. You need an old magazine. Any magazine will do. It will kind of wreck the top of the magazine because the oil from the crayon will get into those layers. So don't use your mom's best cookbook, like not this time. Okay, you'll need a paper plate. And then what you're going to need is something called parchment paper. You can use any brand, doesn't matter, or you can use freezer paper like this one here. Just any old freezer paper. I don't know if you can see this properly. There you go. And the other option, if you don't have any of those, is to use wax paper. Now, I've tried it a number of times, and actually my favorite here is parchment paper, so that'll do as well. Okay, right, the last thing you're gonna need, and for this one, adults only, all right, so kids be careful because you can get really burnt, is an iron. You're gonna need an iron. So ask your mom to help you set that up when we're ready for that point, okay? So at that point, you can just hit the pause button and call for your mom to get the iron set up. So I'm going to give you all a minute to go and find all these supplies. So this is going to be your scavenger hunt component of this video. And I will see you all back here in about 5 minutes. Okay. So does everybody have everything to go forward with this? And don't worry if you forgot something, that's okay. You can just hit pause. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our sharp pencil and our piece of paper. And this can be your scrap paper, or it can be a new piece of paper. So if you have scrap, use that first. I would go with doing a heart for today, because hearts are easy. Everybody loves hearts, and they are symmetrical. So symmetrical means that they are the same on both sides. So to make it easy, what we're going to do is we're going to fold over our piece of paper, and it doesn't need to be exact, okay? And then what you're going to do is with your pencil, you're going to draw the shape of half of a heart. And I would say for today, don't make it too big. So for today, just make a medium-sized heart. Let this one be a smaller one, and then you can go bigger later on when you know how to do this. Okay, so here's my heart shape. Ooh, there's my heart shape. And I'm going to now take my scissors, and now be careful you don't cut yourself. Cut out the heart from your piece of paper. There you go. Now you can do any shape you want. You could, if you wanted to, do a round or a square, or you could do a house shape or a flower, or if you're feeling really imaginative, you could actually do your initial. So I could do a big C because my name is Claire for the front of my t-shirt. CH from both of my initials. You could do a number, you could do all sorts of things, but I would say start off simpler and then go more difficult. Moms, you could do a leaf, or you could do a feather. Feathers are also super fun to do. So maybe I'll do some different shapes to show you along the way what those might look like. But for today, I'd like to do a rainbow heart because everybody loves hearts, and rainbows, at this time of where we're all going, rainbows mean hope, and they mean love, and they mean acceptance. So let's put that out there. Okay, so here is my heart, and yours should look a little bit like this. If it looks different, that doesn't matter. We're all different, and that's okay. It's still gonna be beautiful. Right, so we've got our heart. We're gonna take our t-shirt. All right, we're gonna make sure that our heart fits into the middle of the t-shirt. Oh, perfect, there we go. That looks great. Now there can be fat hearts, there can be squat hearts, there can be tall hearts, there can be skinny hearts, there can be any shape hearts. They are all beautiful. All right, so now we've got our heart shape going. The next thing is that we are going to take our paper plate, and you don't need to do this on top of your t-shirt. Probably don't do that. I'm just doing it because I have less space here than you probably do at home. So you're gonna take your paper plate and all your crayons and your sharpener. All right, so I'm just going to open up my sharpener, and then you can do just one color if you want to make it easy, or you can use 2 colors, or you can use all the colors of the rainbow. Now I've tried to find all the colors of the rainbow in my crayon selection. So I had dark red, I had medium red, I had orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. So that's not technically a correct rainbow. I didn't have indigo, so that's okay too. You can put pink in. Do whatever you want to do, or just use one color. That's fine too. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to insert your crayon into your sharpener, and you're going to just very gently grate your pencil, all right, till all the shavings fall onto your plate. Okay, just like that. You don't want to use too much pressure because you don't want the tip of the crayon to break off inside of your sharpener. All right, so there we go. And just keep on going. Now, if the tip of the crayon breaks off in the sharpener, that's not a big problem. Take a toothpick. Okay, I've got one right here. So you use a toothpick, and all you do is just push that piece out. All right, we'll get your mom to, there you go. Get your mom to help you with that if your crayon does get stuck. And then just keep on sharpening. And you need to sharpen enough of these gratings to fit into your heart, okay? All right, so I've done some red here. Probably need a little bit more. Okay, there we go. That's the red. Here, let me show you. Okay, for now, I'm just going to make it up close. Here's my other red. So I'm going to just make sure all my shavings are on my plate. Okay, and I'm going to put, oh, you see there's a piece of broken crayon in there. Get your mom to help you, or your dad, whoever's helping you, or an older sibling, or babysitter. There we go. All right, now we're going to do the next part. All right. Oh, this is so satisfying, isn't it? It's so fun. Okay, and don't use too much pressure again, just because you don't want it to break off in there too often. Okay, don't mix them too much. Try and keep your colors separate. Okay, oh, that one grated really nicely. Okay, and now if you get tired and you feel like after a while, oh, you know, I'm getting so tired doing this, you can take a break and come back to it later, or just stick with one color. Okay, go. And you can take your time with this. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to pause this video so that you can grate your crayons, and then we'll meet back here in a few minutes. Okay, all right. Okay, have you all sharpened your crayons? This is what mine look like. I just wanted to show you. And if yours look different, that is okay too. They don't have to look like mine. They're still gonna be colorful and beautiful. Okay, so I have 7 colors here, even though I cheated a little bit, right? I didn't have one of the blue range, right? Otherwise, your rainbow is going to be red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Okay, so I put an extra red shade in there, but don't tell anyone, okay? Right, so what you're going to do is put them aside, and then you're going to take your magazine and put your magazine inside of your t-shirt. Okay, so just squeeze it into your t-shirt like you're dressing a t-shirt. Okay, there we go. And now again, make sure that this is not a magazine your mom and dad are still wanting to read. Okay, there you go. Now, make sure it's about the same distance from each side of the t-shirt, and your hands can be pretty accurate measures here, okay? So if you've got the same amount of hand width on each side, you're good. Then you're going to put your heart on top of the magazine. Now make sure that your heart is kind of in the center of your t-shirt or wherever you would like it to be. Now usually if you would want a heart on your t-shirt, you might like it right up here, or maybe you want to put it on the left side of your body because that's where your heart really sits. So you can put it anywhere you want on your t-shirt. I'm going to put my heart in the center of my little t-shirt. Okay, right, there we go. All right, can you all see that? Then what you're going to do, if you feel like your page is going to move too much and you're worried it'll move, you can use a little bit of masking tape or sticky tape just to make sure it doesn't move. Okay, there you go. I've done that. You don't have to do that though, that's optional. Right, so now what we're going to do is fill in all these gaps with crayon shavings, and it doesn't have to look like mine. It can look any way you want it to look. This is how I'm choosing to do mine, and you're welcome to do it the same way. Okay, so you can use your fingers to just sprinkle your colors. Okay, I'm going to do mine straight down, but if you wanted to do them sideways, you could do them sideways. All right, and make sure you don't get too much crayon going underneath your paper, just so that you have a nice, neat heart. Now, for those of you who would want to take this up a notch, like for any parents watching, if you have a Cricut machine or a vinyl cutter, then you could make your mask out of vinyl instead that is sticky, and that would stick onto your t-shirt just so that it doesn't move too much, okay? But I want to make sure that everybody can do this, even those who don't have any of those fancy cutters. Okay, so I'm going to, it doesn't matter if you've got chunks. Chunks can go into, it'll make it very interesting. All right, so here we go. And it doesn't need to be perfect. Remember, this is made with your own precious hands. So it doesn't need to be perfect. What it does need to be is fun. Okay, are you having fun? Are you having fun? I hope so. It's been interesting, right? It's been so interesting trying to see what's happening in this world. But together we are going to get through this. There we go. Now I'm going to do the orange. I'd love for you guys to send me pictures and let me know how your t-shirts turned out. So when you're done with this, just send me one. Get your mom to help you forward a photo onto me, okay? You can do it on Facebook or Instagram or on my website. That's www.3and.me. Don't forget the dot there. There we go. A little bit of yellow. And you can have more or less of other colors. You see some of my colors have got a little bit mixed, but that's okay because once we melt them, they'll get mixed anyway. All right. And here you can use any crayons. You know, like when you go to the restaurant and they give you like those 3 or 4 little crayons. Oh, this is the perfect place to use the rest of them. Okay. There we go. Now make sure that there's no sudden breath of air around here or anything like that, that somebody doesn't run past and scatter these all over your mom's carpet, because that won't be fun to clean up. Now I've shaved too many little shavings here, so I am going to have a few left over, and that's okay because I think I might do this project again, just because I am having so much fun. I hope you are too. Okay, there we go. I've made a little bit of a mess here. Look, some of my green got into my orange, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, so now we're done with this. If you've got any spare bits that are kind of floating around on the outside here, just make sure that they're nice and neat as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect because things that aren't perfect are beautiful too. Okay, now you're going to take your piece of parchment paper. If you are using freezer paper, then you're going to put your freezer paper on top of your image with the shiny side down. All right, now I am going to use parchment paper, and that's the same on both sides. And I'm going to use the top side. So if you've got a long piece like I do, then use one end of it, just in case you have to go over it again. All right, so that's the beauty of this project, that you can go over it again. If you feel like your colors aren't bright enough, or you want to add a little bit more fill in, you can do that. That's awesome about this project. Now, at this point, you need to get your mom or your dad or whoever's there helping you to heat the iron, okay? So you want to heat the iron to the highest setting, so to cotton or linen. And you want to make sure, like if you have an iron that has a steam setting, turn that off. You don't want to be steaming this, okay? It will probably wreck your project, so maybe just turn that part off. Okay, right. And don't touch it. That's going to be hot and it might burn you, so just be careful there. All right, I am ready to do this. What about you? And if you're not ready at this point, if you're still putting shavings into your heart shape, then just pause it. You can just touch the screen and pause it and come to it later. Or if you feel tired and you need a nap and you feel you want to come back later, you can do that too. This video will be available forever. Okay, so just in case you forget something, you can rewind and look at it again. All right, so shall we try this? What do you guys think? Okay, my iron is hot. And now what I'm going to do is smooth it over my crayon shavings. And look how amazing that looks. Can you see? It's all melted underneath. All right. Let's just iron it a little bit more. The more you iron it, the more it'll melt. Okay, so if you only iron it for a little bit, it will be a little bit grainy, but that looks great. If you iron it a little bit more, it'll melt a little bit further into each other and blend. I'm so excited to see what it looks like underneath. What about you guys? Hey, what do you think? Oh, look at that. That is my rainbow heart. Okay, and look, the other side of the paper looks pretty cute too. So what you could do is you could set that aside, and then we have two projects, because now you could set this pretty heart aside, and when it dries, you could make a card for your grandparents. Okay, there we go. Now this is my heart. I am going to take the covering off because I don't feel like I want to put any extra color on. There we go. Put the mask away. Okay, and it might still be a little bit wet underneath, so make sure that it dries perfectly before you take it. There we go. Still a little bit wet on the bottom, so just let it dry. Don't move it around too much like I'm doing. Once it has dried, ask your mom to flip it over. Okay, so it has to be perfectly dry, not right now, because right now it's still a little bit wet and runny. Let me show you. See, I don't know if you can see, there's like a little bit of melted crayon right here that's still moist. So we need to wait for that to dry before we touch it and flip it over. Okay, so at this point, if you feel like, oh, you want a little bit more color in here, or you could take a few white flecks, so the white crayon also comes in useful because you don't want him to feel left out, right? There's always that one crayon in the box nobody uses. So you could use that one, and you could sharpen a few more bits onto the red. That also looks super cute. But let it cool, then flip it over and get your mom to iron the back as well, okay, just to set it. Now, I wouldn't wash it immediately. I would let it cure for a day or so, and thereafter you can wear, well, you can wear it immediately once it's all dry and once it's no longer hot, once it's nice and cool, you can wear it, and you can wear it out there and show all your friends what you made. But then if you get food on it or other stuff, then you can wash it. Ask your mom to wash it on a cold setting. She doesn't want the crayon to melt into all her other laundries. That's super important. Okay, so say to your mom, and sound super smart about this, Mom, use the cold setting. Okay, all right, and I did make these with my kids probably about 10 years ago, and they made superhero logos. So they made Captain America's shield, and that lasted them until the t-shirts were too small. So it does last, and it does work quite well. I also tried something else just to show you. Like if you messed up your heart and you got specks all over, you can always cut it out. I cut out the first one I made just to show you. And this you can stick onto a canvas. You can stick it onto a book. You can even, if you know how to sew, if your mom and dad knows how to sew, you can sew it onto a t-shirt, all right? That looks pretty cool. Or you could sew it onto a cushion or a pillow, okay? You could do jeans. Okay, you could do a jeans pocket. Isn't that sweet? All right, same thing. Now with the jeans fabric, it's also cotton. It is a little bit more porous, so I did have to do more than one layer, okay? But super duper cute. And then I did a different shape. I just wanted to try out a flower shape. Okay, so I did a little flower shape. You're gonna have so much fun with this, and I can't wait to see all the things that you are gonna make with this new technique. All right, so hang on. My t-shirt is about dry. I wanted to show you. Take out the cardboard. Isn't that cute? Now this is way too small for me, but I'm hoping that I can give it to somebody. If you know somebody who could use a small t-shirt with a little rainbow heart on it, let me know. Okay, so I had so much fun with you today, and I hope that we can do this again sometime. And leave me a message. Let me know if you had fun, or if you have any questions, like if some of it didn't work out and you need to know something further, just let me know. Okay, and let me know as well what other crafts you want to see. Like, do you have something sitting around at home that you would love to know how to use? Give me a shout. I absolutely loved doing this with you today. And you take care now. Make sure you're washing your hands and have fun at home with your mom, dad, brothers, and siblings. Okay, all right, you guys take care now.